Case summary. Stilk v. Myrick, 1809, is a landmark case in English contract law that dealt with the issue of consideration and the doctrine of economic duress. Background facts. The case involved a sailor named Stilk who had signed on to work on a ship owned by Myrick. After some of the crew deserted the ship at a port in the Baltic Sea, Myrick promised the remaining crew, including Stilk, that they would receive extra wages for completing the voyage with fewer men. However, when the ship returned to England, Myrick refused to pay the promised additional wages. Argument. Stilk argued that Myrick's promise of extra wages constituted a binding contract, and therefore Myrick was obligated to pay him the additional amount. Myrick, on the other hand, contended that there was no consideration for the promise since Stilk was already contractually obligated to perform his duties as a sailor. Final outcome and legal justification. Final outcome. The court ruled in favor of Myrick, holding that Stilk was not entitled to the extra wages promised. The reasoning behind the decision was that Stilk was already under a pre-existing contractual obligation to perform his duties as a sailor, and therefore his continued performance did not constitute valid consideration for the promise of extra wages. Additionally, the court found that Myrick's promise was made under economic duress, as he was effectively taking advantage of the crew's vulnerable position after the desertion of some members. Law justification. The court's decision in Stilk v. Myrick was based on the principle that performing an existing contractual duty does not constitute valid consideration for a new promise. Furthermore, the doctrine of economic duress played a role in the decision, as the court recognized that Myrick's promise of extra wages was made under circumstances where the crew had little choice but to accept the offer due to their vulnerable position. Key concept. Implication. The implication of Stilk v. Myrick is significant in contract law, as it establishes the principle that performance of an existing contractual duty does not constitute valid consideration for a new promise. This case also highlights the importance of understanding the doctrine of economic duress and its impact on contract formation. Key takeaways. Candidates include the importance of understanding the concept of consideration in contract law and being aware of circumstances that may invalidate a contract, such as economic duress.